Hey everybody, welcome to TechKnow Tuesday, the almost weekly technical pod where we discuss FTC and other technology stuff.
Thanks to Kendrick.
And I'm Phil.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kendrick.
Hey, so Kendrick, do you have some information for us today?
I do indeed. Interesting post here. It's titled, "Is this a clever idea or blatant disrespect?"
Already the warning bells are going off here.
Yeah.
So the basic idea of this is the guy who posted this isn't sure that it should be allowed to put blocks in front of other people's ramps, other teams' ramps.
Why not?
Because it blocks that team's robot from accessing the ramp. So unless the robot can only score in the low ramp or in the low goal, it messes them up for hanging or scoring in the upper two goals.
So the premise is A, they can't,
Get over blocks in the first place,
and
I
B,
guess?
they can only go up one side of the ramp,
Yeah.
which isn't true because in autonomous and teleop you can go up both sides of the ramp, and they can't go up the other ramp, and that the team is not penalizing themselves by doing that. All of those premises.
Yeah. And even at that, the team that's trying to get up the ramp should be able to deal with a couple blocks. It's like they're blocks, unless you have wheels. But I could see that being difficult.
But if you have wheels and you
But-
can't get over blocks, then the best you're going to ever do is get to the first level of the ramp for
Yeah.
10 points, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think you're going to be going for like hanging or even the top goal. I mean, maybe you could get to the top goal.
And honestly,
like reaching,
in our case, if someone stacked a whole bunch of blocks in front of the ramp, it makes it really convenient to pick up those blocks and then score them. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's like even with our robot, it's like we have two robots here, and both of them never have a problem with any kind of blocks. It's
Right.
just like they sail up over them.
That's right.
So,
It's kind of like a little mini pre-ramp.
I mean, if they want to waste time doing that, that's fine.
And of course, they run the risk of being penalized for controlling more than 5
Yeah,
blocks.
wasn't that another thing, Kendrick, in that post talking about if someone wants to clean them away?
Yeah, so he was also saying that if somebody does put a bunch of blocks in front of the ramp, they can't conceivably clean the blocks away from in front of their ramp because they might fall under the penalty of controlling more than 5 blocks at a time.
Yeah, but that seems a lot more, like, getting them there in the first place is a lot further because you have to take them from the field and shove them all the way over. Or if you're just cleaning them out of the way, you're moving them from, like, there to there.
Pushing it a few at a time.
Yeah, and it's really a short distance compared to the whole field.
Yeah, I think someone's panicking a little bit prematurely.
Yeah.
here.
Personal opinion, I would go for just changing the robot design a little bit so it can climb over the blocks.
Yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble, period.
Yeah, because your autonomous mode won't work at all because the blocks are random. And if you can't get over a block or move them out of the way,
You're in a bit of trouble, yeah.
yeah.
So I've seen some fun robots at various scrimmages and competitions lately. I've seen a really cool climbing robot that uses a tape measure. Oh, who would have ever thought of that? To latch onto the low bar at the end of the high zone and basically pull themselves up to the top. And then during end game, that same hook gets pointed up and lifted onto the top and pull himself up. That's pretty cool. So that was a high-scoring robot only because it could lift, but it couldn't actually score blocks. And then I saw another robot that would pick up the blocks, climb onto the low part of the goal, and then just extend this big old whoosh thing out, and then whoop, tip the blocks out and score. So that's kind of cool. But they didn't look like they could lift. So I think the golden one is going to be one that can do both.
Yeah.
Ours can't.
Neither can ours.
We're a climb and score, but no lifty robot.
Yeah, yet.
It's interesting. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We'll see how we go. Very good.
It has actually been a long time since I've seen either of the robots here.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
because
This is gonna be a big
Kendrick has been
surprise
out
for me.
at a job.
Working. Yeah,
Working.
I know.
What have you been doing, Kendrick?
I've been wiring up, I believe they're control panels for GE solar inverters.
At least that's what you're calling them, right?
No, that is actually
You
what
figured
they
them
are.
out, then.
That's what they are. They
Okay.
So you've
Yeah.
been there 2 weeks now, and you actually know what you're building now.
Or is it 3 weeks?
Last week was my 3rd week.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So
So that's why we haven't been on
it's been a
TechKnow
long
Tuesday,
time.
because someone.
I know we've been TechKnow Tuesday-less.
70 hours a week is a long time. That's 12 hours a day, except for Saturdays, which is a 10-hour day.
So Kendrick's learning multiple things. He's learning A, that he doesn't want a production line job when he grows up. B, working long hours is fun for a short time.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
It's a lot of money, but it's also a lot of time. So.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going offshore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So we have a theme for this week, right? Being how is it's my birthday today? No, being how it's Thanksgiving.
It's are we gonna call it text giving or
Oh, nose giving.
That nose
That doesn't
giving.
work.
that does
Whoa.
I think
that
What
does
was
not
that for a second?
sound
I think text giving is better.
Thanksgiving. All right. So what is it? Thanksgiving. What technology are we thankful for? Is that right?
yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah, sure.
I'm thankful for spell checkers.
Oh, that's a good
Okay.
one.
Because for the longest time with computers, I could there was no spell checkers, and then they came out in like word processors, and that was so good. And now, of course, you can't type anything without it being spell checked. Which is usually a good thing, unless you're doing a text post, in which case spell checkers are your worst enemy because, of course, they don't recognize all the acronyms and shortcuts we want to use.
Yeah.
But yeah, spell checkers are my thing. Grammar checkers, okay. I'm usually pretty good with grammar, but spelling, not so much. So I love the fact that you get the little red squiggly line and go, well, how should this be spelled?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Because,
So what are you thankful for?
Oh, I'm thankful for PCBs, printed circuit boards. Makes life easier. You don't have to like run wires everywhere and solder them. You can just send it off, get it printed up, come back. You have this nice little circuit board with all the traces inside.
Yes, I would go along with that too. That's
Yeah.
I went
Could
through
you-
that whole hard way. Before.
Could you imagine trying to wire one of like a modern day computer?
You don't have to imagine.
Phil,
Oh,
could
Imagine a modern day.
You have not seen the thing that I have to see if I can find a wire wrap circuit board for you one day.
Yeah,
which is how
but
we used to
like,
prototype circuit
if you look at like a laptop's motherboard, it's like, oh my goodness, ridiculous.
There were some really crazy inventions made for generating circuit boards before it became so easy to make multi-layer circuit boards. For example, when I started doing electronics, when I was working, there was no such thing as a 4-layer circuit board. It was all 2-layer. And then they started coming up with all these crazy ways. There was a machine that was, the circuit board was like epoxy. It was like a sheet of epoxy. And there was a machine that would take a piece of wire, push it, heat it up and embed it in the epoxy and then snap it. And then they'd do another one. They'd lay all these wires on top of each other like insulated, like transformer wire, has the thin insulation around it. And then they'd lay all these wires in the board, smush it all down, and then they'd drill holes where all the wires came together, and that's where the chips and stuff went in. It was pretty,
Wow.
And that was pretty high tech, because But yeah, circuit boards, I like it.
I'm thankful for the internet.
Wow. Yeah, that's a new one.
That's like saying I'm thankful for air.
Yeah.
Right. But it is a technology.
It is.
I'm thankful for it. How many
you ever have a
PCBs? How many PCBs did you order over the internet?
I don't remember ordering. I called them.
China, yeah.
Did you mail order them?
Yeah. No, I went over there and said, hey, can you, every time I want to order more, I just go over there.
I mean, like just getting
If only they could
messages
deliver
between
them
people.
over the internet.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Getting messages between people, like, used to be like, send it by mail and it'd get there. And
Or
Do
you
you
dial
know
a phone.
have you
days.
ever experienced any of those things?
I have not, but I've heard stories of this.
It is kind of hard to imagine. Like,
And now
before
you've
the
got
internet. Yeah.
you've got instant messaging. You send a message to somebody, and like 2 seconds later, they send a reply. And
That doesn't sound like that's very instant. That sounds like there's a 2-second delay there. I mean, just point it out.
dear.
we're working our way towards that.
Instant minus the delay.
Oh, man, the internet. Okay.
Less
all
than
right.
instant messaging.
Yes. Okay. So, and to prepare for the next time we might get to do TechKnow Tuesdays, what about TechKnow Christmas or Chris Tech or whatever? What do we want? What technology do we want for Christmas? Kendrick wants some new microphones.
I want at least some new microphone cables and a new camera tripod, because setting up today, both of those things caused me tons of
And
trouble.
like a mic stand or something, for a really nice mic.
Nah.
Nah.
I like that
one
cardboard one.
works.
It's pretty classy.
Kendrick's
People
had
can't see the
issues.
cutout on the other side to let the cable out. Pretty impressive.
I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah,
but
don't touch the microphone.
I was about to spin it around, but
What about you, Kevin?
What?
Technology for
Oh,
Christmas.
I didn't think of this one
Haven't thought
before.
of
Oh, that's a good
And it
one.
can be imaginary technology. It doesn't have to be real technology.
Oh, imaginary. Well, I think I'd like a second monitor so I could run dual monitor.
Don't you already have 2 monitors?
I have my laptop monitor and then an external monitor. But
So
if
you
I
mean
could
you
get
want a third monitor?
a third one, so I could run those two as dual monitors, because my external monitor is a 23-inch monitor. So I'd like another one.
I saw an ad for a TV today that was like 53 inches and it was $240.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously, people?
I know.
Seriously?
I want that one.
realize
Like
that.
$5 an inch? What is
We
this?
stopped in at Target when we were out there, and we went back to look at the phones, and I noticed the TVs on the wall, and I'm sitting there looking at them, and I'm like, $250, $350, and that's like a 45-inch
Yeah,
HD TV, and it's like
I know.
They're
It's
It's
probably
crazy
3D
cheap.
like my TV.
I'd like one of those. I doubt it's 3D. 3D gets more expensive, but
Yeah.
you could always
then
get
you're
the.
probably running like $500.
Yeah. Oh.
So for Christmas, I want not to get spam emails.
Ooh.
That's the technology that I want. If only they'd started charging for emails when they first invented emails. Like even a penny an email, we just wouldn't get so much junk anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
I get a lot of spam in my old email, but as far as Gmail goes, it's been pretty good at
Really?
stopping the spam.
That's really true, actually, because I don't use Gmail. I have my own
Yeah.
account, but you're right. I only get like a few.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really get.
That must mean Google knows who everyone is.
Plus,
really
I can, if
yeah.
I do get some spam, I can mark it as spam, and then I never
Right.
receive another one of those.
Yeah, I get like 600 emails a day to get through my spam filter. You know?
Yeah. The problem is I still
sounds
use a
pretty
really
bad.
old email. I use Hotmail still. Well, the problem is I have like probably 20, 30, between 20 and 30 different accounts that use that email address. So I don't want to go through every one of them and change it over to Gmail. It'd be really convenient to get a Gmail instead. And I have a Gmail, but I still use the old one just because that's what a.
Yeah, so if anyone
my
has any
accounts use.
suggestions for us how to get rid of all our spam, just let us know, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, so I've got two pieces of technology I want to talk about today, and I must apologise. I forget the name of the company, the first one, but they've just successfully done a space shot. It's like something blue, ocean blue. I can't remember. Foolish me. But SpaceX has been trying to do this for a while. Send up a rocket, whatever, up to orbital height, and then bring it back down again and land it. You know, but this other crowd just did it the other day. And it's pretty impressive because they're getting ready to do. They want to do commercial space trips where people just go up and in a little capsule and do zero gravity and look at the Earth and stuff, and then they bring them down. So what they have is they have a rocket that goes up with a little capsule on the top with all like windows around it, right? So it goes up, separates the capsule off, and the capsule hangs around for a while, does a little sightseeing thing, and then comes down on a big parachute. But the rocket comes back down again, and when it gets within about 1,000 feet of the ground, reignites its rocket boosters and actually lands where it's meant to. Bloop, turns off the engines and off it goes. And they've just done it. And there's a really cool video online about it. And it's pretty impressive to see this thing hurtling down, all of a sudden, fire up its rockets. You know, and it's not surprising. I mean, now that we have all the drone technology and all the chips and all the navigation inertial stuff, it makes sense. But even still, rockets are pretty tough to
Yeah.
contain. The other thing I want to talk about. You know about power over Ethernet, right? If you heard, you know, power over Ethernet is when you have a device that you plug into the Ethernet and it's powered through the Ethernet cable. You send voltage down it. So
You
there's a
mean,
lot of-
is it kind of like one of the IP cameras that we have for Mate?
Yes, exactly. So things where they're standalone and they don't necessarily have power in them, you
Yeah.
can send power to them. Well, there's a new technology that's come out. University of Washington's been playing with it called power over Wi-Fi. Oh yes. So they're actually. I know they go what the. Okay, so haven't you always wondered, all these signals are going around all around us all the time. Wouldn't it be nice if you could tap into the energy that's in those signals and actually use it to power something?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah, so these guys have done it. They've come up with some really low power technology that uses the available radio signals and charges up, just like ekes off a little bit, and they can use it to power really low power devices. So they've got a couple of examples. One is a camera. So they get a little camera chip, and the thing just sucks up power through the airwaves and saves it up, and then every 35 minutes it takes a picture and then transmits it to the base station.
That's pretty cool.
And what they figured out was that as long as there's continuous Wi-Fi nearby, they can tap off enough signals. But what happens, the problem is if the signals drop off, there's no traffic, then there's no energy for them to get. So they tend to taper off. So they've come up with a new mode on the routers that if there's no packets going out, they send power packets, just like packets to nowhere, but knowing that there's some devices out there that are going to suck off some of that power and use it to keep themselves alive. So basically a new router that just transmits more often than it needs to, and then devices that can just store up those little infinitesmal bits of power. It's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty cool.
That's
So you
pretty
can
cool.
imagine you could have your your Wi-Fi headsets, your anything that's body monitoring, temperature sensors, whatever.
Isn't that kind of like RFID chips? From my understanding, that's
Yes.
that's how those work.
Yeah, well, yeah, they hit them with a pulse of radio waves, and then they use it and transmit back in. Yeah,
Right.
But that's fairly directed and fairly close range. This was like at a range of like 35, 40 feet.
Yeah.
The study that the guys did.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whole new range of devices that now can do their
Wireless
thing.
power.
Wireless power. Well, yeah, long range wireless power that doesn't require coils and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
So there's my two tech things today.
Man, I want one of those now. Hey, remember that little Wi-Fi chip you got, Phil?
Yeah. Hey, we haven't talked about Kickstarters.
I know. It's,
Kevin, I'm ashamed.
I know.
Well, I mean, last time we did it was kicking off the Kickstarter. Now,
Oh.
tell us the results,
So it finished, and we had I think $1,504 raised.
which was how many percent?
Oh, it was a lot.
720?
700. Yeah, 700 something.
Yeah, yay! Fully successful Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You know, basically sold off your first production run of units, so
Mm-hmm.
now you can start, making more. And we've got all sorts of activities we're going to do with it, tech
That's-
camps and stuff.
Yeah. That's why I'm dressed up all fancy today, is because
Really?
I'm going to a thing later on today, showing it and
Christmas
yeah,
extravaganza.
trying to get people to buy it.
Yeah, we have a little thing that the FRC robotics team, the GACO team, organising where they're just setting up in a local restaurant area, and it's for parents who want ideas for things to get their kids that are just not toys, more STEM related, more sciencey related, so they can come check it out. The kids can say, "This is what I want, Mom," like a makey or a soldering kit or something
Yeah.
techie related. Yeah, cool.
Are you happy now, Kendrick?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm happy.
So right now you're just waiting for the money so you can ship stuff out, right?
Yeah.
So next time we can talk about how much fun it was shipping all this
Yeah.
art.
Well, all I gotta do is bring them to the post office, and they have to deal with the rest of it. So
That's why they get the big bucks, right?
yeah, the big $3. Yeah.
Cool. So
All right. So
Anything else?
let us know what technology thing you're thankful for, and what technology thing you'd want for Christmas, I guess.
yeah, we're not going to send it to you, but you can
You might. Yeah.
tell us anyway.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
we
someone else will
announce
get it for
our
you.
Christmas giveaway
Giveaway.
extravaganza.
All right.
And we give whoever asks for the least expensive thing gets their thing. It's random, promise.
All right. So it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye.
and It's goodbye from them.
Bye.
See ya.